Michael Morpurgo, War Child to War Horse, a biography by Maggie Fergusson, with stories by Michael Morpurgo, read by Stephen Thorne. Preface. Buried in most of us is a desire to communicate with children on their own level. A child falls and scrapes his knee. We drop down to meet him eye to eye. This is the level on which Michael Morpurgo weaves his stories, sharing his thoughts with children in a way that they know is neither contrived nor condescending. Books such as Kensuke's Kingdom, Private Peaceful, War Horse, and Shadow have become contemporary classics, establishing Michael as a kind of Pied Piper for a whole generation. His is a rare gift. But Michael Morpurgo is very much more than a best-selling children's author. When his wife, Claire, was getting to know him nearly 50 years ago, she marvelled, in a letter, at his 6 selves. He is many people in one. He remains in part a boy of about 10, writing, "For the child inside myself that I still partly am." He is a soldier, who won a scholarship to Sandhurst, and might now be General Morpurgo, had not Providence and love combined gently to alter his course. He is a primary school teacher, whose energy and charisma thrilled his pupils and maddened his colleagues in the staff room. He is an entrepreneur, whose charity, Farms for City Children, has given more than 100,000 inner-city school children a taste for what it's like to live and work on a farm. He is a performer, who feels happiest on stage, where he's able to forget himself as part of a cast. And he has recently become a crusader and statesman, using his fame as a soapbox from which to roar when he encounters injustice. No wonder Michael's publishers have repeatedly urged him to write a memoir. But the one story he feels unable to tell is his own, though he is happy for it to be told. When he first proposed that I might write about his life, he was speaking on his mobile from Devon, with such a big wind blowing in the background that it was hard to understand what he was saying. Once I had understood, I felt excited but uncertain. How clearly can one hope to see the shape of a life still being lived? And would it not be a mistake to write a book about Michael Morpurgo that had nothing to offer the children who love his work so much? So we struck a deal. I would write 7 chapters about Michael's life. He would read them, reflect on the memories and feelings they stirred in him, and respond to each chapter with a story. For the past 2 years, whenever Michael has been in London, I have bicycled from my home in Hammersmith to his riverside flat in Fulham, and spent time there getting to know his 6 selves better. Looking out over the Thames, the tides rising and falling, seagulls crying, we've talked at length about his triumphs, about the struggles he has faced, and about the price he has paid for success. We have explored areas of his life that have remained obscure, perhaps even to him. What has emerged is a story of light and shade. The light very bright, the shade uncomfortable and sometimes painful. Both light and shade are reflected not only in the chapters I have written, but in Michael's corresponding stories, some of which have required great courage in the making. One day, Michael Morpurgo must pass, in the words of the old saga writers, out of the story. Then the moment will come for somebody to lay another picture on top of this one, and to write a full biography. Here, meantime, is an attempt to catch an extraordinary man on the wing, while he's still in full flight. Maggie Fergusson. Chapter 1. Beneath the Hornbeam. In a corner of Michael Morpurgo's Devon garden, the ashes of 3 people share a final resting place. The sitting-room of his low, thatched cottage looks out on the spot where they lie. He passes it every morning on the way to the summer-house where he writes. Above it, a hornbeam tree flourishes with such elegance and grace that you might imagine the ashes beneath must be mingled in invigorating harmony. But you'd be wrong. In life, these 3 people, Michael's mother, father, and stepfather, caused one another untold pain, giving Michael an early education in
Sample complete. Ready to continue?